giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning and happy Friday, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Boston Scientific, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom! It's Friday, baby. Yeah, we rolling out the TV today, man. We rolling out the TV today. We got Feel Good Fan Friday, bringing back the mailbag segment. We got some questions, about a handful of questions from you on Twitter. On Facebook, from Instagram and YouTube. So stick around for that. Plus, in the roundup, we got an Odell Beckham update. A little bit. Gonna be working out for a lot of teams in the NFL. Plus, is Dalton Schultz still on the table? Really, really strange report that just dropped yesterday surrounding Dalton Schultz. And I'm going to tell you why. It's an indication that these boys just don't get it, man. They just don't get it. But what's good, Bomb Squad? How y'all doing?
Bomb Squad!
It's Friday, man. It's Friday. Yeah, I got to rock the Hattie B's merch. You know, it's Fan Friday. It's Feel Good Friday. And it's going to be Hot Take Hattie B's Friday. Every Friday, got to remember to do these hot takes for you guys. And look, I would just go ahead and not get right into the hot take, but get into what was I wouldn't call it a debate. It was kind of a hotly contested back and forth on Twitter between my guy Foots and the rest of Cowboys Nation. So look, man, let me bring this up. And I'm going to bring Foots on here next week. Maybe he can defend himself on here. I already know what he's going to say. But my man Foots, he dropped a tweet yesterday that got Cowboys Nation. I've never seen Cowboys Nation come together like this. Ever. Like 99.9% of Cowboys Nation was on one side of this argument. My man Foots said, no, sir. I'm going to stand over here by myself with this one. Here's the tweet, Cowboys Nation. Before we get into the roundup, my brother in arms on the round table. This is this question. Is winning a Super Bowl worth flipping your whole roster 2 years later? I'll take the draft and develop route. One more time. Is winning the Super Bowl worth flipping your whole roster 2 years later?
What? 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 Bruh.
I just want to hear y'all. I just want to see y'all answers real quick. Hey, Tom, relax, dude. Relax. Tom said yes. Swain, you're damn right. The fake Jerry Jones said yes. Oscar said Foots chose violence yesterday. Hell yeah. Foots, you gotta explain yourself, man. Like, I know what you was trying to do. I think this all stems from the Rams, right? Y'all see all these reports. The Rams are trying to get rid of Jalen Ramsey. They're trying to get rid of Matt Stafford. Apparently on the block, they're getting rid of Bobby Wagner, et cetera, et cetera. That's probably where he's going with this. Where he fucked up was including the word Super Bowl. If you took out Super Bowl and you replaced it with something else, competitive, whatever, you use Super Bowl. That's the whole point of doing anything. That's the whole point of draft and development. That's the whole point of going out and all in. That's the whole point of signing all these free agents or making trades. Every move that you make as an organization should be for the goal of winning the Super Bowl. Period. Which leads me to my hot take that if you are a fan of this show over the last couple of years, it ain't new to you, but it might be new to a few other people. And before I get into that, today's Hattie B's hot take / not so hot take. No conversation about the best Nashville style hot chicken is complete without a serious mention of Hattie B's hot chicken. They were founded in 2012 in Nashville, but they have a new location here in Dallas, downtown Deep Ellum, that serves up a variety level of heat, from southern mild, medium to hot to the Daredevil's dream. Shut the cluck up. That's what I was telling them last time. So visit their new location in Dallas today or order for a pickup at HattieBees.com. You can also visit the website, sign up, and you'll get a $10 gift card for your next order. Man, that chicken look good. Chicken look damn good. Here's my not so hot take. I do not believe that you can win a Super Bowl in this era of football without these three pillars. I don't want to say without these three pillars. Without being a player in these three pillars. Drafting, free agency, and the trade market. You've got to be active players. You can say aggressive. You can say, a finessing. You whatever words you want to use. But you've got to be active, legitimate players. Drafting, free agency, and trade market. I've said this to you guys. I don't know how many times. And it's tried and true. We are now in the free agency era of football. This is no longer 1990, 1985, 1972. Well, Sky, you can't do it like the Rams. No, you can't sustain longevity like that. I'm not saying you got to go that route. Well, Sky, they didn't draft well. Okay, yes, they said F them picks and they traded picks and they signed free agents. But if you go look at their roster that won the Super Bowl, by the way, they also went to the Super Bowl in 2018 doing the same damn thing, trading for the Aqib Talibs of the world, Marcus Peters of the world, signing the Ndamukong Suhs of the world, et cetera, et cetera. So they were participating in this situation back then. But if you look at the roster, they still had guys that they drafted that played significant roles on their team. And this isn't new. I mean, maybe because social media popped up, Cowboys Nation, that people think this Rams approach is new. It's not. Go back to 2015-ish. I think it was when the Denver Broncos, when they won the Super Bowl. Go look at half of their damn defense. They went out and signed guys, traded for guys. So this approach over the last decade of football isn't new. They just went the extreme route. Is winning a Super Bowl worth flipping your whole roster 2 years later? I would personally go down to the Star and hand out pink slips to every last player on that team if it meant winning the Super Bowl. Love your Foots, but you wildin', fam. You are wildin'. All right, I got to get Foots on here next week to defend himself. He's got to be able to defend himself. It ain't right if I don't do that. With that said, let's go ahead into this roundup and get this show started.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey, yo. See, this is what Foots won. He won all these comp picks from the Cowboys. Let's rack up these comp picks. I don't give a damn about those Super Bowl. So the Cowboys picked up about 3 extra picks in the NFL draft, which we expected. However, I'm a little shocked. They picked up 3 extra picks via comp picks from Randy Gregory, Connor Williams, and Cedric Wilson in free agency. 2 fifth-round picks and a 6th-round pick. You might be, well, Sky, it's just comp picks. It's just comp picks, but I mean, how did they not get at least a 4th round, hell, a 3rd round pick for Randy Gregory? Did he do something that eliminated that? There's no exact science to these comp picks, and I know he got hurt pretty early last year, but the Randy Gregory contract was a lot. And I thought that the Cowboys would at least got a 4th or a 3rd round pick for this one. So I'm a little shocked on that one. But their total now bumps up to 9, which gives them plenty of ammo if they want to be active in the trade department during free agency or during the draft. However, if you guys remember last year, the Cowboys had what, y'all? 11 picks? Had 11 picks, and they didn't trade a single one. And draft and develop, man. Look, I don't know how many. 11 picks plus 9 picks, that's 20 picks in 2 years. Are you really going to keep 20 draft picks on your team? And if you do keep 20 draft picks on your team in 2 seasons, what does that say about your team? I mean, we could go real deep on this. I don't have numbers. I'm not saying, because this team drafts well, right? So maybe it's different for the Cowboys. I just don't know how many of those 5th and 6th and 7th round guys is going to make a big enough impact early enough to get you over the hump. So that's why for me, I'm not opposed to flipping some of those picks to move up to get a guy I want, or including the package to get a proven player. Now you say, well, Scott, if you would have traded a 5th round pick, you wouldn't have got Deron Bland. I say, well, yeah, you could have. You could have traded the Matt Waletzko pick and picked Deron Bland. You know what I mean? So there's ways to still trade these things and then recoup that same round. You just got to be savvy in that arena. And I told y'all this before. I just don't believe Stephen Jones and them boys are savvy enough to do these type of trades. So 9 picks this year. I fully expect the Cowboys to draft all 9 and somehow, some way, probably all 9 make the team. That's not a bad thing. I ain't saying it is, but it'd be nice sometimes if you're like, man, hey, dog, our 3rd-year player or the guy we signed in free agency or 2nd-year player so damn good, we don't need this 5th-round pick. See ya. But that's just me venting to y'all. Another thing I found weird. A report came out yesterday. Dalton Schultz reportedly turned down a multi-year offer from the Cowboys per Albert Breer. Huh. This is weird. So we don't know when this happened. We don't know how much the offer was for. I would imagine, though, it was around that tag amount. All right. The tag amount last year was roughly $10 million, close to $11 million, something like that. So they probably offered him around $10 million per. Real quick, before I continue on, would you have signed Dalton Schultz to a long-term deal for $10 million per? The Cowboys apparently, per reports, attempted to sign Dalton Schultz to a long-term deal, which makes me wonder if they get it. What do you mean if they get it? Cowboys Nation, you got a Jake Ferguson on your team, who I believe is a quality guy. You've got a deep draft class of tight ends. Whether we want to fuss and discuss about tight end in round 1 or not, it's a deep enough draft class where you can take one and develop him into the next Dalton Schultz if you want to. But I think you got a guy on the roster that you can do that with. You also got a tight end, too, that has some high upside. But we wanted to sign Dalton Schultz to a long-term deal? Ooh. I mean, again, these are just reports. This could just be false. It could be lying. But again, how does that make sense? I get it, y'all. Dalton Schultz had a solid season with Dak Prescott when he returned, and the year before he broke out, and he was a big part of the offense that lacked a bunch of weapons on the outside. But he didn't he is who he is, as my guy would say.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
He is what he is. He's not a hump player. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's a quality tight end, but I think you got a quality guy on the roster. I think you got quality guys in this draft that you can take and continue to develop. And then now you have an offense where I don't think it's going to be as difficult for the wide receivers. So now you got more explosive guys that can be incorporated into the offense. That would have been a super curveball. How we got breaking news, right? Cowboys signed Dalton Schultz to a 5-year, $61 million contract. Whew, that'd be crazy. And then finally, Odell Beckham is back in the news because he's holding a public workout for all NFL teams in Arizona today, by the way. 13 months now since his ACL surgery. So he should be ready to do all the cutting and look good in front of NFL teams. But what about the Cowboys attending? Here's what Calvin Watkins had to say on the Cowboys attending this workout. He says, quote, "A Cowboys executive would not comment if the team would attend Odell Beckham's workout. However, a source said the team is comfortable signing Beckham if the money and health is right. They've done due diligence on him. Everything they've heard has been positive." Some in the Cowboys organization weren't sure how serious Odell Beckham was about his return last year. He wasn't healthy, so it was like he was playing games, but this is a serious attempt now to prove he can play. It's a risk, end quote. I'm still on the Odell Beckham as and when I say last resort, I don't mean I'm trying to go sign the Robert Woodses before Odell, but Odell Beckham as the last resort of one of those potential high-end wide receivers. Meaning I'm still trying to go out and get other guys. But if I fail and I fall, I don't mind falling on Odell Beckham. But Odell Beckham is not the guy that I'm trying to go out and get immediately. Jerry Jones said his interest in Odell Beckham remains the same as it was prior to the season ending. So during the season. So the Cowboys still have interest. Here's the thing, though. Beckham's going to get out there. He's going to run around. He's going to look good. And I'm pretty sure his market is going to rise a little bit. And if I know one thing, the Cowboys don't like to get in bidding wars. I felt like the Cowboys might have had better leverage to sign him during the season because a lot of teams knew what we eventually found out, right? Like, this man ain't ready. So we're not going to waste our time trying to sign him. Well, now, if he is ready and he goes out there and he's looking good, maybe you go from 3 teams being interested to 13 teams being interested, and now you're in a bidding war. Dallas doesn't like bidding wars. So we'll see. That was today's injury spotlight brought to you by OSMI. OSMI provides arthroscopic and robotic assisted orthopedic surgery, foot and ankle surgery, sports medicine, physical therapy, and a bunch more. Their team of orthopedic specialists has offices in Fort Worth, Decatur, Mansfield, and they provide state-of-the-art orthopedic care in the North Texas area. You can hit them up for their free appointment today, hassle-free, at osmifw.com or give them a call, 817-529-1900. We had the doc on earlier this week. Go check that out. We talked about LVE. We talked about Terrence Steele and the potential if those guys come back, which Steele will be coming back. But if LVE were to come back, that would be like dealing with his chronic neck issue. So check out my guy, Dr. Boothby of OSMI. Let's get into this chat and see what you guys are talking about with this Dalton Schultz and Odell Beckham Jr. situation. Captain America said Dallas always chokes in a bidding war. Maybe they don't want. I think choke might be the wrong word. I just think they're allergic to it, right? They don't want to spend money. They don't want nothing to do with that. Rolo, hold tight on that one. We'll get to that in the in the mailbag. I got you. Frankly, football. So B it's official now with Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen has been released. Real quick before I get to Rick on the phone line. This is interesting. Adam Thielen or Michael Gallup? Adam Thielen or Michael Gallup. So it is official. So Adam Thielen is now on the look. Now you got Adam Thielen and now you got Odell Beckham. Two dudes that the Cowboys I think will have some interest in that won't cost you draft compensation. The more these type of guys are on the market, the more I feel like they're not going to trade for a DeAndre Hopkins type. But we'll get to that in a second. A lot of y'all are saying Adam easy. Okay, I was waiting for this one. Kai says MG. I think it's closer than you think because we're thinking about MG from last year, obviously, right? ACL, can he return? I get it. But we also got to take into account then on the other side where Adam Thielen is about 33, something like that. He's going to be about 33 this year. I don't think he's going to be cheap either. And then we can say, well, what if they're both healthy? Thielen technically has been really productive over the last few years. So, and then I see somebody say Adam fell off. So if Adam fell off, what do we say about Michael Gallup? Two Broke says, Sky, in order for me to answer this question, what would Adam's role be here? You know, without looking, if I remember correctly, I think Adam lined up in the slot a good bit prior to old boy coming, Justin Jefferson. I think he moved him around. You could look at Adam as a big slot. Or you could look at Adam as a guy that can line up out wide and you just bump CeeDee Lamb full-time in the slot. But I know one thing that Adam will not do for you, will not fulfill, and that's the explosive and the speed aspect of it. So, like, if you get an Adam Thielen, I feel like you got to compound it with a McCole Hardman type or a Zay Flowers type or Tank that one of these explosive guys that are going to be part of it. But if you do that, that means that you're really not incorporating somebody, whether it be Adam, whether it be Mike Gallup, whether it be whomever. So he doesn't fulfill that. And somebody can say, well, neither does D-Hop. I say, well, Adam Thielen ain't D-Hop. There's some exceptions to those rules. I think it's a legitimate question. Tony says, question, is Adam better than Noah Brown? Yeah, we know that one. Matisse says Gallup should be better this year. He should be coming off the ACL. Just, man, it's so hard for me to put my trust into him right now. And I said this before, and I'll probably say it for a minute, man. I got to operate as if Gallup is not my answer. Let's take a call before we get to our mailbag segment. Rick, what's up with you, man? What you got for today that's more specific than kind of an overall, thought process? Because you kind of be touching on 10 different things. So let's kind of narrow it down today, Rick.
Well, what's going on, Sky?
What's
going on, Cowboy Nation, man? Hey, man, I just go where my heart desires.
I can dig it, brother.
Man.
I can dig it.
But I can zero in on what we talking about today, though.
Okay.
Because I really caught the first end of this, the beginning. I mean, I first caught the beginning of this show. So, I'll keep Michael Gallup, man. He deserves 1 year of recovery, as far as getting himself back together on the field. We know that injury takes a little longer than some to get back to what they normally do, or at least to see a part of themselves. Yeah. I like MG better than Thielen. Thielen, I feel like he fell off. He really didn't help Jefferson or all that like that. That's why I think they cut him so fast. Like,
really?
He's not the same person. I can tell he's not the same person when we played him.
Well, he's not. Yeah, he's not going to be the same at 33 as he was at 26, right? But over the last 3 seasons, there's only 2 other guys that have more red zone touchdowns than Adam Thielen. So, I mean, he scores a lot of touchdowns. It's just not. You got Justin Jefferson there, so Justin Jefferson is going to get a lot of those targets, right?
Well, I look at it like this, man. my dude MG, man, he deserves our loyalty, man. When he got hurt, he scored the touchdown and held on to the ball. So I give him his props for that. But I think this year is gonna be. I think he's gonna come back this year, man. And Odell, if the price right, yeah. If he like he said, like they said, if the price right, he healthy, let's go. And he want to come to Dallas, let's go. Because I think he'll look good in the star. But other than that, I just hope that because you got to think about it. The Cowboys, when we won in the 90s, we always had a mercenary. We always traded for somebody that took us over the hump. I think the first one was Charles Haley. He took that young team. He took that young team over the hump. Then, and with Deion, we had to go trade for Deion. Oh, no, we signed Deion. And Deion took us over the top. So you always need some kind of over-the-top players. You ain't got to get a whole bunch of free agent players, but you got to get some key players that can step up in big times. That's all I really want for the Cowboys. Just focus certain positions. We got homegrown stars, but it's always good to go get mercenaries to come in here and help when it's crunch time. That's basically it. But other than that, that's all I got for you today, Scott, man. You have a good weekend. All right, Cowboy Nation. Peace. And I'm happy Dr. I don't care if Dr. Schultz here or not, because I got faith in these young guys.
Right.
All right, peace.
Salute. That's all I'm asking for. I ain't asking for them to spend $200 million. I'm just asking you to go get you, one or two of them ones. See what happens. And if you don't want to get one or two of them ones, I'll get you a handful of really damn good players then. That's what the Bengals did. Yeah, I'm seeing some of y'all saying kind of what I was thinking. I mean, he said he deserves our loyalty. I mean, I think Cowboy fans are getting a bit tested with the whole loyalty thing because we ain't won in a while, right? You see it with the quarterback, you see it with the running back, you see it with the receivers, you see it with every player. Oh, no, it's going to happen to Micah. Trust me, it'll happen to Micah. I guess as fans, we can fan for our players, but I don't give a damn about no loyalty if I can flip said player to be better, right? Or if I can bring in a guy that's better. Because I want to win a Super Bowl, man. I want to win a Super Bowl. And I mean, yeah, Michael Gallup caught a touchdown pass, got hurt and held on to it. And look, I'm glad he got his money. He can provide for his family and whatnot. But if I can go get, one of the D-Hop type and it means that Michael Gallup can be on his way somewhere else, I'm not going to say no because of loyalty. And honestly, isn't that the problem with Jerry? I mean, we see it with Tyron Smith. We're seeing it with Ezekiel Elliott. Like these guys, and we saw with Jason Garrett. They're constantly so loyal to these players that look around the league, man. Kansas City didn't say, we're going to keep Tyreek Hill because we loyal. They said, hey, man, thank you for what you've done, but we're going to flip you now for all these picks. Happens around the league. Dallas is the only team, if you look at it over the last 20 years, that cannot get rid of their guys for quality picks because of loyalty. So we got to be careful, man. That's why I said we need to win. We need to win. Because if the Cowboys get a win, at least we can stand on how they got that win. Now we can kind of pull, okay, this is how we did it, in this era. Instead, we're saying, man, in 1993, in 1994, that's a long time ago. That's a long time. And I'm not talking about what Reek said about signing, the Deons or whatnot, because that still matters, right? Signing these type of guys. But this is kind of how we always are. When Jimmy Johnson and you know what I mean? When Michael Irvin and it's a long time ago. We need to win because now we need to look on how to build from that win. 801, what it do?
Hey, happy Friday morning, Sky. I have a question. So first off, in regards to the Dalton Schultz point, yeah, I would not extend him because I think the whole idea of the Cowboys right now is getting away from the idea of marginally improving. So going from, 90% efficient to 92% isn't what I'm looking for. Where are positions where we're at a 60 where we could go to an 85, right? Where can we make, significant strides? And I don't think the difference between Schultz and Ferguson is massive. I think it's pretty marginal. And so the idea of spending significant resources to get maybe a tiny bit better, to me, just isn't worth it.
Can I ask you a question? Does that apply to tight end in the first round as well for you?
Yeah, for sure. Like I don't look at any of these guys, maybe outside of Darnell Washington, just because of how athletically freakish he is. Like that could potentially, be a significant, jump. But that's the only person that I see that I'm like, that might be at least something to consider. But even then, I don't think that it's as big of a jump as you could make in other positions. Like your wide receiver room needs help, right? Like the running back position, it needs help because right now Zeke averaging, 2 to 3 yards a carry last season, that's unacceptable. How does your offense look if you can go from averaging, 3 or 4 collectively to now averaging 4 to 5? Like that's a big difference. And same with the receiving room. Like if you can get productive receiver help outside of CeeDee Lamb, to me, that's a big improvement that you can get. And so that kind of leads me to, I want to get your thoughts on this. Let's say, at pick 26, your 2 best players on the board are, let's say, Bijan Robinson and Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? In your opinion, what helps the offense more, having a better run game, so an improvement in the run game, or having an improvement in the receiver game?
That is a fantastic either or. I don't think either of them dudes is going to be there, but I as much as I'm not, look, I ain't no running back round one guy, but there are certain exceptions and certain, situations, and picking at 26, if a top 5 guy like Bijan falls to you, it's going to be hard for me to be like, nah, I'm going to take Jackson Smith and Jigba, which I like him too, but is he considered a top 5 talent? I don't believe so. And if I'm looking at my team where I'm going to throw the ball to my running back more, Bijan can do that as well. But the problem is you tag Tony Pollard. So are you going to? Sure. It's such a weird situation. But how do you pass that? You know what I mean? Like, how you pass on Bijan, bro? That's so rough.
Yeah, and let's say, because I do think you're right. I've played on the simulators and I've seen that. There's sometimes where Bijan falls, but I think that's, unrealistic. So maybe it's more of a thing like, Jahmyr Gibbs versus Jackson Smith and Jigba. Maybe that's more like.
That's probably fair. Yeah, that's probably fair because no one believes Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 talent, and or a better runner than Bijan. But maybe you can do more things with him from a passing department. But well, that's then I would probably say, I'll take the wide receiver.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious because as I look at it, I think both. It's funny. Tight end is the only position group on offense that I'm actually not super worried about. Like I think you can get high. Yeah, like I'm
not taking on tight
end. And so it just comes down to what's gonna help the team more, having a better solidified run identity or having more receiver help. And I guess that comes down to how Mike schemes up the team, right? But that was just something curious I was wanted to get your thoughts on is, what offensively is one of the bigger priorities for the team, and how much does that improve the team as a whole?
Let me play devil's advocate. I don't necessarily think, because you tag Tony, right, and the deepness of this draft, I don't think running back is technically a priority that early. It's just that you put me in a blender with presenting me Bijan Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made this difficult for me. Other than that, I'm not really trying to take a running back in round 1 either. But sometimes when guys fall to your lap, man.
Teams suck at drafting, right? So there are scenarios where that could happen. And I was just curious because I came across it literally last night on a simulator where those 2 were both available, and I was like, this is hard to decide what I think would be a better.
What's funny? That happened to me as well, bro. I was doing the PFF thing, and Bijan fell to me at 26, and I'm just looking at the board. I'm like, come on now. Like, what do you want me to do here? It wasn't even like it was a whole lot to take over him, but it was something I don't think will happen. I think Bijan, put it this way, I don't think he's going to make it past Philly. Nope.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a scary thought too. I don't want to think about that, but hey,
Nope.
Appreciate your time, Sky. Doing great, and hope you have a great weekend, man.
Thanks, man. You as well. I ain't trying to be phony to y'all, man. Because I truly do believe there's a handful of running backs in this, more than a handful, that I can get later that can run the ball very well. So I don't want to be that guy. But I understand that Bijan is at the top of that list. I mean, don't ask me this no more. Right? I don't want nothing to do with Bijan Robinson at 26 no more. Because if he's there, what happened? Like, what happened that he's there at 26? Is it just because of the running back situation? Because there's got to be teams that say, look, I don't give a damn. I'm trying to win within these 5 years, right? And I don't think that's the Cowboys' approach. I don't think the Cowboys are like, well, I'm going to take this player because I'm going to maximize it for the next 3 to 5 years to try to win the Super Bowl. Then I'm going to be out. I honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if that was somebody's approach. And that's what I think Philly would do. If I'm Philly and they take Bijan, 9 times out of 10, they're not taking him so they can sign him to a 6-year, $190 million contract after year 3. They like, look, we run the ball 40 times a game. We have no qualms about running the ball 40 times a game. I'm going to run it 15 with my quarterback. I'm going to run it 17 with Bijan, 3 with the little squirt Boston Scott, whatever. I'm just throwing numbers out there. And we're going to run him into the ground, and we'll draft another running back. I don't know how you can be mad at that because he's like that. But not us. We're going to draft a running back in round 1. Not anybody, really. 9 times out of 10, unless that dude is absolutely trash, they're signing him to a second contract on a big money. And that's a position where by the time they get to the middle of that second contract, 9 times out of 10, if they've been ran into the ground, they're not going to be that guy anymore. So now you're paying extreme premium money for what he's already done at a position that's going to be bad on their body. So I do think that situations matter. All right, look, let's do a couple questions in this mailbag segment because it is about y'all today, Fan Friday, and then we'll get back to the phone line. Let's do it.
It's time. It's time.
Time?
It is time for
Mail time.
The mail's here.
You've got mail.
Got some questions from YouTube and Instagram. Questions. I mean, some of these are good. You can get a whole bunch of great ones. Let's skip around real quick. Let's start with Logan over on Instagram. This is the easy one. He says, is Schultz really worth $15 million?
What? 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 What?
No. Moving on. Let's hit up Jerome from YouTube. And mind you, you guys can play along as well, obviously. Jerome Nichols on YouTube, shout out to you. He says, as much as I would like to get Ramsey, I think there are some good corners in this draft. I agree. So I will go all in on DeAndre Hopkins or Stephon Diggs. I think Diggs is ruled out. Do you think Gallup in a 4th round pick would be enough? Hopkins and Lamb would be serious. And if Tolbert can't work with them, then he's officially a bust. So your question is, do I think Gallup in a 4th would be good enough to get a Hopkins? Let's just kind of rule out Stephon Diggs. I don't think that's really going to happen. Hopkins is legitimate. I'm going to say no. I don't think Gallup in a 4th is going to be enough. According to reports, Jerome and a half. Apparently, a 2nd round pick is what it's going to take to get D-Hop. I'm all for getting rid of the 2nd round pick, by the way. All for getting rid of the 2nd round pick. And Gallup's contract. I went and looked at. Damn, I had it up. I looked at what a Gallup trade would be. It saves you, I think, $5 million. You have like $8 million in dead cap, but it's only for 1 year, so you won't have any dead cap money going into the following season. To get D-Hop? Yeah, I think that's something you look into. Now, when we had this conversation yesterday, There were some people who said, no, I would keep Michael Gallup and still try to get D-Hop. That's a lot of money tied to that position specifically. For a guy, and let's be honest, and Michael Gallup is likely going to get phased down. It's likely going to turn into your wide receiver 3 who can't play in the slot. Primarily has to be outside. So now, okay, you say, oh, cool, that's cool, Sky. We'll put CeeDee Lamb in the slot. I'd say give me Lamb, give me Hop, and then give me a slot dynamo. Or is it dynamo? Yeah, a slot dynamo. So I don't think there's a world where you can keep Gallup in a DeAndre Hopkins, but I don't think Gallup in the fourth would do the trick. Don't think Gallup in the fourth would do the trick. 205. What's good with you?
What's happening with you, Scott?
Damn, I gotta remember your goddamn going number, landlord. What up, landlord?
What's happening, man? Yeah, we happy as hell about all these comp picks, right?
I mean, they don't really move the needle for me. You know?
Man, look, the teams that really want to win, Scott, ain't no way we supposed to draft no 9 players. This is my opinion.
So you feel what I was saying earlier?
Yeah.
Like, think about this.
Just like last year.
20 players,
What's
bro.
that last year? Yeah, go ahead.
20 players in 2021 or 2022, 2023. You think 20 year 1, year 2 guys is all just going to make the roster and everything's great? I don't know about that, man.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's no way in the world that we should draft 9 players. Because, look, how many Ridgeways y'all want? How many y'all want? See what I'm saying? These boys ain't even guaranteed to make the team.
And they fumbled that
one. They ain't
even
guaranteed to make the team. Yeah.
Ridgeway shouldn't have been.
You're not even guaranteed to make the team, man. Yeah, all I'm saying is you might as well.
Well, hold on, man. That's the problem. I think for the most part they damn near are guaranteed. Because Cowboys don't participate in free agency in a real way, right? That they hold on to these draft picks. Josh Ball, like, you know what I'm saying? He's still here. You kept Josh Ball and got rid of Ridgeway. Think about that. So I think they are, and that was my whole argument going into, coming out of the draft last year was, hey, unless these dudes absolutely bomb these picks, they're likely going to make the team because the Cowboys love to keep a hold of their draft picks for the most part.
It's so crazy, Sky, because I feel like, man, it's obvious, bro. We victims of our own success. Like, Will McClay does so well in these later rounds and drafting in general, bro, that it just make us like we got a great amount of hubris when it comes to picking players. And it makes us undervalue players that we have too. You see what I'm saying? Because think about it. We got Dalton Schultz in the 4th round. We looking at Dalton Schultz like we're not going to pay you like a premier tight end. We got other people that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes you undervalue people. It's like, bro, I can get another you in a minute, like Beyonce said. I can get another you. You know what I'm saying? I can get another you in the 4th round, son. I don't have to. Right. No, I'm not going to do that.
There's arguments they did that, like, quite literally, except for, what was it, the 3rd round? Where'd they get Jake? Was it 3rd or 4th? 4th round. 4th round. So they quite literally drafted his replacement in the 4th round.
But look, though, the thing about it is we don't want to be guaranteeing that every time. You don't want to be betting on that every time, Scott. Like, Will McClay is a GOAT right now. Like I said, if he messed up at all almost, bro, we are screwed. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like, bro, if you got 9 players, 9 draft picks, man, all you got to do is move up. You need to finesse. You need to be trying to negotiate. Because, like I said, you should be looking for quality over quantity. We don't really even need 9 different positions right now. Like, just being real, we need maybe like 3 to 4 solid pieces. I say we need a solid linebacker. We need a solid defensive tackle. We probably need a solid O-lineman and a solid wide receiver. I think this team might be fixed. What else I'm looking for? Maybe a cornerback. That's 5 pieces.
I think if you want to,
I think that's 5 pieces will be straight.
And you're not,
Let me know if I'm missing one.
And you're not just talking about the draft, right? You're just talking about in general.
I'm just talking about in general,
right,
yes.
Right.
At all.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like you can get half of that.
Let me know if I'm missing
agency.
one. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. That's 5 positions, bro. This team will be. I'll be ready to scrap up with this team and go to the Super Bowl. Go challenge anybody. That's how I would be. Give me a nice receiver. Give me a cornerback too. Give me a defensive tackle. Give me some O-line help. It ain't really got to be a starter, really. Give me some O-line help. And what else I said? And a nice linebacker. And Damone Clark, year 2 might be enough. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah, I think what you want to be able to do is balance the two, right? Like you don't want to say I'm gonna get all 5 in free agency because now you spending a ton of money and 9 times out of 10 all 5 ain't gonna hit. But you also want to be like I'm gonna get all 5 in the draft. You need to find that sweet spot, and I don't think Dallas ever approaches it that way. They approach the free agency as all right, we're gonna get some Band-Aids, right, to cover up these wounds, and then we're gonna try to play the long game and allow these wounds to heal via the draft. And again, that just makes it really hard because one thing that nobody ever talks about, I brought it up yesterday, when it comes to these players, I don't give a damn how good they are. Most of your draft picks, in some cases and some teams, all of them, they have a learning curve that it takes them years to actually reach a point where they're now considered hump players. There's a handful. There's a Micah Parsons of the world, a Pat Surtains Juniors of the world. But 9 times out of 10, it takes like 2 to 4 years, maybe 3 to 4 years, if not more, for that guy to be considered that level of player. So in that time period, look at Dorrance Armstrong, for instance. It took Dorrance Armstrong till year 4 to really plant himself as a legitimate reserve guy. Year 4. Whole time they playing Dorrance Armstrong in those 4 years. Imagine if they would have went out and got an actual guy, right? During Dorrance Armstrong's development. And I'm just using DA as an example, but I digress.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't just rely on the draft.
I call him Dogecoin Dorrance because his stock was very high, then it plummeted in my opinion.
Said Dogecoin. Don't do that to Dorrance.
But look, I ain't gonna do him like that. That's why I ain't run with the nickname too much because it was hitting too hard. It was
because you be spitting. You got bars for these dudes. And it ended up going viral. And next thing you know, DA gonna be in your DMs.
Yeah. I don't want no smoke with Mr. Dorrance, man. I don't want no smoke. But look, like you said, bro, building out of the draft, this is what we've been doing for 10 plus years, man.
Yeah.
It's a slow grind. You know what I'm saying? It's you plant seeds in the draft. You shouldn't be trying to, you know what I'm saying, bust out. You're not gonna be able to get the microwave results. We've been having this thing slow cooking for long enough. We need to go buy some trees instead of planting these seeds, Scott. You see what I'm saying? It's time for us to be buying trees right now. We got enough plants. We got enough seeds. We need to be seeing the fruits of our labor by now, sir. This is what we need to be seeing. And like I said,
we need the prefab cribs. We don't need to be building it from the bottom up. We just need to go ahead and just drop a prefab crib, break down, and let's go. I feel
yes, because this is my thing in closing, bro. This is my thing about it. I can see if this team was just really in the middle like Jerry. Like I can see if we was this team that won 7 games, 8 games last year.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we are in striking distance, sir.
Right.
Like you need to be able to understand when it's time to strike.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jerry Jones, you the same guy who bought the Dallas Cowboys, even though Donald Trump said whoever bought the team was a fool. And you flipped that pack. You made it flip. You won Trap of the Year 4 times in a row. You did it anyway. You see what I'm saying? So This same guy, I would assume that he would know when to strike. That's all I'm saying. I would assume that he would be opportunistic to know when it's time to go for it. That's all I'm saying.
So Jerry, they call it the Wildcat. Jerry had that in him, right? Here's what I think is happening, and Brian Broadus kind of makes fun of this, but I think this is actually kind of true now. I'm just not a report. I just do think this is true. I feel like Jerry is not on the real ends. He's not in on the football stuff for real. I feel like Jerry handles blockchain. Yep. Jerry handles the Dixie Chicks when they come to AT&T Stadium. Jerry handles the boxing matches. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to football stuff, they just give him a little. They just drop a crumb. Hey Jerry, we
giving him
looking at
giving him the scraps.
Yeah, we looking at cornerback, Jerry. And then now Jerry goes talk to the media about half of the dudes he don't even know. Whole time, Stephen Jones is in the room with Will McClay and Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. And then when Jerry walk in there, they got to pretend like they wasn't talking about him and stop talking and give him some more crumbs so he can go back out and talk to the radio. Like, that's what they doing to Jerry, bro. He not really doing anything, but he been a mouthpiece for years.
Look, I agree, but don't it seem like it should be a timer? So what Jerry be like, okay, they been feeding me crap. I ain't won yet. Hold on, let me go in this room. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what they doing. Like, it's like you got to check up on them after a while, man. Like, come on, Jerry.
If it affected his bottom line, if it affected his job security, but the two dudes that have the most power, it don't affect their bottom line or job security. And the one
dude, how those fathers babysit, like fathers babysit. That's how he should be. Like, we don't get up till we hear a loud noise. He need to hear that loud noise. That's what you say.
He can't hear. He 80. He don't hear no noise, man. And they purposely not giving Jerry Jones no hearing aid. They telling Jerry Jones, oh no, you hearing perfectly fine. You good.
Put them headphones back on, Jerry. You good.
Let me give you your Beats by Dre. Go sit on your rocking chair. And the dude that is really doing all this, he can't fire because it's his goddamn son. So it's the way we do things is not normal. It's not right, and that's why I always say we got to overcome it, man. But at one point, when Jerry in those 90s, Jerry had fight. Jerry had fight, and he quite literally was almost about to fight his son. So he had that fight, and I don't think he got that fight no more.
Man, them owners looking at Jerry like, dang, homie. In high school, you
was the man, homie. What happened to you?
What happened to you, Jerry? Hey, get your groove back, Jerry. That's all I want to say at closing, man. Facts. Good call, Scott, man. I appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate you, landlord. Make sure y'all check out landlord. You gonna be on later?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Hit up the trap house, man. Don't stop by the window either. Make sure y'all go in.
Salute.
Oh man, it's always fun talking to landlord. Analogies is crazy. Yeah, he need to turn back the time one time for the one time, but that's not possible. This ain't Westworld. He ain't a robot. He's an 80-some-year-old human being. Y'all hilarious. Sky or Eagle shopping Darius Slay? I ain't heard about that. Even if so, right? Didn't Darius Slay come out and say, I never played for the Dallas Cowboys? And if they're shopping him, again, Dallas trading for it, they better off trying to trade for it. No, Jalen Ramsey said he wouldn't play for the Dallas Cowboys. They just asked out on two top cornerbacks then. D Schiff. Good morning, good sir.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up with you, man?
It's funny, man. I love that seed and tree thing from landlord, man. I'm actually planting some trees today, man, because those seeds take a little while.
Take a long time, man.
Right now, ready for your fruit right now. So I don't know, like I kind of look at it. I mean, going off of landlord's analogy, I think you're in a perfect position right now with the draft. We know that the Cowboys live off the draft, and they've been doing it for a while, right? And I think you're in a better position than in the years past where we're conditioned to want best players of our need, right? But you have a lot of positions that if you get one of these wide receivers that are, you got that's more of a top heavy, but I think it does have a lot of guys, but you definitely want to get one of those was the top three guys, right?
Yeah.
With Johnson, Smith, and which other guy?
We got Addison, you got Njigba, you got Johnston, Flowers. Yeah.
But that's like the three like you would really like, right? Like you take a Flowers, but you like those top threes, right?
Yeah, I mean, people got them all over the place depending on the fit for your team. Okay. Me personally, I like Flowers over an Addison because of what I could do with him. Not saying that he's better, just for me for the fit here, but also we had a scenario yesterday, D Schiff. If you watched the show, Johnston was on the board, and the Cowboys took Kincaid in Dan Brugler's mock draft. I would have took Johnston.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Now I'm totally on board with moving. Kind of think of the tight end like the running back position. You can get one of those guys anywhere. Only thing I would argue about wanting to get an offensive line, which I think that's more stock than wide receiver. I think you really can get a guy, hopefully in the second round, but I just don't want to get another Connor Williams and Connor McGovern that they're going to give them 3-4 years here, and you got to live with that for 3-4 years. And within that span, Zach Martin's going to go, so you're going to depend on a Connor Williams to be a man, which you know those type of guys just can't be. They can't hold down that. There's always going to be a liability. They're going to play real solid for you, but it's be a liability. I think Tyler and Terrence, I think they're future stars. Still, Biotish, we're still weighing.
He on the last year too. Biotish.
Yeah, so you gotta you're looking at Biotish leaving. You gotta replace your left guard. Zach Martin is he's good for maybe, again, going off landlord, like maybe 1 or 2 more harvests, right? Before that fruit tree starts to kind of dwindle.
Yeah.
So I think you don't want to make a mistake 3-4 years from now where you're going to be in position about complaining about the front office not doing enough to protect Dak and just getting him some guys. I think we're right there in position to make it more of a dominant piece for at least 1 or 2 years, to where you got to replace Zach Martin again, but it'll still be a real good offensive line because, that prospect plus Steele and Smith, they'll be your future. And I think in years past we made the mistake of just depleting our offensive line and treating it like, we just need something to hold us over real quick. I mean, you can do that if you want to, but I understand the position that you need your playmaker. I concede to the fact that the Coop, it could have been pretty significant for you in the playoffs.
You're not wrong about the O-line, right? I think since 2011 they've taken it a bit more serious than they did previously. So with McClay in-house, I do feel confident that they will, attack the offensive line like they need to make sure that is good enough. I think the problem is in 2020 you had so many injuries. It felt like, what are we doing with this line? But and then last year the injuries piled up on you again, and you got what was the coach that we just got rid of? Joe Philbin, moving these dudes around, doing crazy stuff with them. But when you really look at it, I think Biotish has developed well. Look, Connor McGovern ain't all that, but I think Connor McGovern developed. Tyler Smith was Tyler. I mean, he had a fantastic year doing what he had to do. Terrence has developed, obviously, Zach Martin. So I think they do a good job getting guys and developing them guys. So I actually have confidence that Will McClay will do it. And I don't look, if you don't take a certain position, no matter what happens in the draft in round 1, Cowboy fans are going to be mad. I feel like if you don't take an O-lineman in round 1 or a receiver in round 1 or corner in round 1, I still feel like you can make up for that later. But so I feel confident.
I think one of those 3 has to be your first round pick, only because once you add one of those, you're looking at a real nice unit.
Right, but you can't add all 3 in round 1, right? Like one of those positions are not going to be taken.
Yeah, and then we got to go get a tree in free agency, but that's wishful thinking at this point. That's cool, but I mean, I'm just saying if you did it, you'd be straight. I don't feel it's the issue. You got a lot of guys you can get off money, but I don't know, but not good shit. Law, my fault, Sky. I hit you up, bro.
Thanks, D-Chef. Appreciate you, man. My bad at the end of that call. Somebody put Trey in timeout. This mother. Put him in timeout. I'm not even reading it either. Nope. Y'all just gonna have to go back and look at it. Let's see. Let's get to it. Let's get to another mailbag question real quick. Actually, I'm about to finish these mailbag questions because I want to talk to you on the phone. All right. Chaz Reese over on Instagram said, could we consider a Derrick Henry / Pollard combination?
What? 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 What?
Hey, dog, look, I like Derrick Henry. But we're talking about a guy one got to trade for. He got a ton of miles on him as well. He's breaking down a little bit. And think about this for a second. We talk about Derrick Henry breaking down. He breaking down, but he's still doing much better than Zeke. Nonetheless, you got the contract you got to deal with, trade compensation. He's a running out. I'm not trading for a single running back right now, unless it's one of them young bulls. So I don't think it's something that we should consider. Now, maybe a team like Buffalo, maybe ain't too many. Now if he gets put in free agency, then it'd be more teams. But straight up just trading for him, I think that market is pretty small. Buck Farms from Instagram says, what is the team's plan if Dak continues to throw interceptions this year like he did last year? Now, I 100% believe last year was an anomaly more than a norm. But if he throws, 15 interceptions again, 16, 17 interceptions again, and it's not in the way. Remember when Tony had 36 or 37 touchdowns and he had 19 picks? Like, you got to damn near throw for 40 touchdowns to combat 19 picks. So if it's a situation where, and he only had 20-something touchdowns because he only played, but if he's 22 touchdowns, 15, 16 interceptions, now that becomes a problem because it's no longer an anomaly, right? It's trending towards a trend. So if that happens, I think they start looking sideways and saying, the guy we drafted in the 4th round or whoever it was, Hendon Hooker, right? Let's pretend maybe we give Hendon Hooker a shot sooner rather than later. I think that's kind of would be their plans if he were to do that. But I don't think I'll stand on 10 toes. I don't think you're going to have an interception problem with Dak Prescott next year. And if he does, you can come back and say, well, you were wrong. Chris Peterson over on YouTube says he hit me and Vach up on Twitter. And he said, Jerry Jones and Mike seem to be dumbing down the offense in a way that may hurt Dak Prescott next year. Interesting. They talked about potentially running quarter or half field reads, which I don't think is a problem. That would benefit the West Coast out quick slants, but it completely eliminates the deep threat. I don't agree. I think it also regresses Dak to a level that he can clearly play above. I also don't agree. We saw some turnovers on the option routes, but Dak is going on record saying keep them because y'all don't see when they hit. It feels as if Mike is betting against Dak and leveraging him. Oh, I don't agree with that either. Leveraging him against Jerry. So if they fail, the QB is the one out the door. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Woo, that's a lot, Chris. That's a whole lot there, man. Whole lot. First of all, I don't think half field, quarter field reads throughout the game are a bad thing. I don't think you need every single play for your quarterback to be Superman and have to go through all field reads if you have an advantage on one side. I mean, we've heard Kurt Warner talk about this a lot, where a play is called and it's a progression read, meaning no matter what I have over here, whether it's the advantage numbers, the actual play and design is for me to start left and work right, no matter what. Whereas if we go out here and say, hey, if you get this look over here, screw your progression read. Let's narrow this down to half field because you got the numbers. I don't think that's a bad thing. Number two, to call the West Coast offense a dummy offense or dumbed down offense is a disrespect to Bill Walsh. It is a great system, especially if you can tweak it. Right? So I don't necessarily think it's dumbing it down. I think what it is it's eliminating the possibilities of having a bunch of mistakes because you have to go through these reads or have to have all these option routes with a bunch of dudes. Look, McCarthy said option routes aren't just some crazy thing. Teams have option routes, but they have option routes with a guy, with one player, with a dude that they have chemistry with. You could argue Dak did not have recent chemistry with any of these dudes. When I say recent, I mean, I shouldn't say recent. I should say longevity chemistry with any of these players because the guy that he did have that with, they booted for a 5th round pick. Michael Gallup in and out of lineup over the last 2 seasons. Noah Brown wasn't a wide receiver until he became a wide receiver this year. He was a wide receiver 5. CeeDee Lamb is still learning the position, right, as an NFL player. And in year 1, he wasn't asked to do a whole lot. He said, put him in the slot, and he played 4 games with Dak. The next year, Dak's in and out of lineup. CD's in and out of lineup. So he's really got like a combined full season going into 2022 with CD Lamb. And then you add the Houstons and the Toberts and the T.Y. Hiltons of the world throughout. There wasn't enough chemistry to be like, yeah, we're going to run option routes with all these dudes. So, yeah, you might keep it with say, a CD Lamb going into year 4. But you don't need all you guys doing that. So, and I don't agree with this is Mike betting against Dak Prescott at all. Not at all. Mike McCarthy came out and said his job is to make the quarterback's job easier and better and make sure that he plays 17 games, make sure they get the best out of him, because he understands that if your quarterback is not playing at a certain level, you're likely not going to be able to get to the ultimate prize. So I'm pro West Coast style. I'm pro half field, quarter field reads when needed. I'm not saying this is what you got to do all game. And I don't agree that it completely eliminates the deep threat. There's that saying I always bring up about the West Coast offense. Touchdown, check down. The deep threat will be there. It just doesn't have to be every single play. These kind of quick game opens that up, right? It makes the safety say, damn it, they boom, boom, boom. They getting 8, 9, 10 yards. Now I got to cheat up a little bit. Next thing you know, bam, CD Lamb's over top. Or damn, they getting it down to Tony Pollard and Malik Davis and whoever the running back is. And they're getting 15 yards from a simple dump off. Maybe I need to cheat up. Boom. Turpin over top. So I would say just look up the West Coast a little bit more, man. I think you'll see that you'll get some deep shot attempts, opportunities. It just doesn't have to be either all 4 curls, all 4 verts, or I'm reading top to bottom. Like that's pretty much what it felt like every time we threw the ball. Curls, verts, top to bottom. Or deep to short, if you want to do it that way. Good question, though. Y'all still talking. Y'all ain't shit, man. Y'all still talking about Trey's comment. It's a good one, Trey. I can't be mad at it, man. That was a Hall of Fame worthy comment, man. DP said the defenses were confusing the wide receivers, not Dak. Thing is, with option routes, both have to be right for it to work. If the D full is a wide receiver, if the D full is a wide receiver, though, Dak's the one who looks wrong. I mean, that's kind of fair too. And no one's going to care, right? I mean, you know how we are when it was happening early. The Lions, the Bears, the Packers, no one gave a damn that there was actual football people saying, hey, man, your receiver or your tight end needed to cross face here, and your quarterback read it that way. It was, Dak Prescott sucks. And that's something that Dak just got to deal with. Like, their context absolutely does not matter. Now, when it's clearly Dak Prescott's fault, it's easy to come out, man, you can't do that. You can't make that throw. You can't make that read. You got to throw it away. You got to take the sack. But when it comes to the nuance of the game, context is never going to matter. I've come to the conclusion with that. Now, when we do Tape Tuesdays, it's always fun to break it down, but I'm not about to sit here and argue with people that, you know, where context doesn't matter. Because it's not gonna come down to a good debate, a good back and forth. You can't debate with those people. Man, we got some top tier callers on the line. Let me try to get to them. We got DJ, Danny, Toxic Tom, my Reading brother. Let's get my Reading brother real quick, and then we'll get to Toxic. How you doing, good sir? Good morning, my Reading brother.
Good morning. God bless you and the show and the family like always.
Thank you, man.
I just want to ask you 2 questions.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have, OBJ or Deion Hopkins?
Hopkins.
Okay. And also, too, do you think should we go for a running back in the first round or should we go for an offensive lineman?
I would go O-line. If that's the
I would go O-line. Go ahead. Okay. Well, anyway, I just wanted to ask you those two questions, my brother. Like always, God bless you and the family, and your boy Voss and his family, and keep up the good work like always.
Thank you, my man. Have a good weekend.
You too. Likewise.
Yeah, I do think it kind of depends, Gregory, but just the position in general, probably O-line. Toxic Tom, what's up, man?
Good morning, Toxic. I will give, first off, hope everyone's doing great. And hot take of the day, Foot's tweet is what is exactly wrong with the Dallas Cowboys. That is the ass backwards way to look at this entire thing. And Foot's, your draft analysis is spot on. Aren't you also the guy, and I hate pulling receipts, that said no team has won a Super Bowl by signing a prize free agent a couple years ago? And then everyone was like, here's a list of examples that show you're wrong. Dude, it's like, this isn't a country club. And it's getting to the point where it's either the Jones don't care or they're just completely inbred, because it has to be in that realm. Because if put it this way, everyone here is asking great questions about how to build the team. The best way to do this analysis is wrong answers only. How would you build this team? And that is how the Cowboys are going to do it. Hey, let's get rid of Amari Cooper for a 5th-round pick. Terrible idea. Hey, let's extend Zeke and Cabo way ahead of his contract, but let's hold Dak Prescott hostage and Amari Cooper hostage, who are at camp. Terrible answer.
Franchise
let's extend Dalton Crow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the list goes on, and then it boils down to, I really, truly believe the Jones don't really care about winning as much as the fans do, because I think the Jones, as Jerry, our owner, said, he's happy with being in the middle. And one thing that fans don't know about when it comes to these contracts, Stan Kroenke, I think his name was, for the Rams, when they were doing all these aggressive moves, he was guaranteeing a lot of money for the Rams. And what that means for a salary cap perspective is there's a cash outflow, and then there's an accrual accounting, you're in a book, a ledger. Steve Kroenke had to take his money and put it into an escrow account. And if people don't know what an escrow account is, that means that you are guaranteeing money and it's being sent to a third party and they hold it. So basically, he is out of that money, essentially. He can't just go and use it. So when Jerry Jones is saying he would sign a check to sign anybody, it's a bold-faced lie, because he doesn't want to put that money into that escrow account. And you are going to get misled about how, the bookkeeping is hindering this team. It's all a lie. And I'm an accountant for a living. I'm telling you all.
I was just about to say, bro. Look, Toxic Tom's an accountant. And that article is fascinating. I mean, it basically is showing what we already knew. But what he's saying is the Cowboys are actually, what is it, bottom 5, bottom 3 in actual cash spent on players, not salary cap or whatever. Cash spent. You have to technically hit a certain floor of salary cap, but there is none of that for the cash, and Dallas doesn't spend it.
So when I see Jerry Jones with this shit-eating grin on his billion-dollar yacht, and he's saying that I would do anything to help this team, but yet you see that they don't do anything, your actions speak louder than your words. If the Jones truly cared about winning, we would not even be having these discussions. I truly believe all they care about is staying relevant, getting in the headlines, taking Odell Beckham Jr. on a Tinder date and showing him around Dallas, because as they say in Glengarry Glen Ross, get their names to sign on the dotted lines. Did they get it done? Yes or no? And if it's a no, I don't want to hear why you couldn't get it done or why you wouldn't get it done. That is the exact ass backwards toxic leadership that has held this franchise back for 30 years. Y'all fans, you deserve better, but do not get your hopes up and bring back Ryan All. Have a good day.
Hey, look, this is toxic time to shine. Off-season toxic time. Look, we right here, brother. It be in season when I'm trying to focus on the next game, and you be like, fuck the Joneses. But off-season toxic time, always bring it, man. Appreciate you. The Tinder date was wild. You be killing them. God, I can't. Hey, DJ, good luck following that one up, man. Go ahead, DJ. What's up?
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, Scott. How are you doing this morning, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing?
Oh, fantastic. I don't know how I'm going to follow that up. because all I was going to talk about is the free agency side of things.
Right,
but it sounds like we ain't going to spend no money anyway, so what's the point?
Well, hey, and that's why I do my Catboy criteria, because look, I'm an NFL fan. I love free agency, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna let the Cowboys take away my joy of free agency and team building. So I'm gonna find a way to make this thing work for me. God damn it.
I mean, that's why Madden works, though, because you can build your own team. But no, we gonna draft and act like nothing else exists. But going all the way back, because it feels like yesterday almost now. But to the Adam Thielen, the OBJs, the Andre Hopkins kind of thing. My whole thing on it is basically if my guys, because we need as many wide receivers as we can get. I want them to draft one. Or draft one or two, pick up one or two in free agency, and then have Michael Gallup get better as well on top of everything else.
Yeah.
But realistically, that ain't going to happen. And that'll be counterintuitive to the conversation we had yesterday about D-tackle, right? Because I also feel like if they go and they do everything we want them to do in the wide receiver room, well, they're not going to do it in the D-tackle room. So then it becomes a conversation, okay, if we can do it in one room, is it going to be the wide receiver room or is it going to be the D-tackle room? We don't know. And you have to make that decision there. So I'm with
throwing bodies.
Go ahead.
I'm with throwing bodies at the wide receiver position. And the body sounds bad. I don't mean to make it like that. But I'm with a bring T.Y. back or sign Robert Woods, and then I'm still going to get me a wide receiver in the top two or three rounds, and then say, look, battle it out. Gallup, draft a receiver, Tolbert, Simi, T.Y., battle it out. I'm not going into the season with no damn Dennis Houston as my wide receiver. It's not happening next year. I refuse to let that happen. So y'all battle it out.
And that's my thing too, because there's Dan Quinn on the other side. Wide receiver is a bigger problem to hide when you're not built like Tennessee, right? Where you're built to run the ball 30, 35, 40 times this game. I mean, we've had a solid running game for years. I'm not trying to discount that at all whatsoever. But at the same time, we weren't built we've been an offensive machine since I can remember. And I'm 32. I know you. Never mind. I'm not going to mention Trey's comment. But I mean, you've been around too. And
wait. How old did you say you were?
32.
Damn, man. I really do feel old. Go ahead.
Damn. I ain't a baby. I got kids and a mortgage.
I know,
but anyway,
damn. I really am older than you, though. That's crazy. Anyway, go ahead, DJ.
But I mean, basically our entire lives, because I cheated and went to Facebook, and I think I found your profile one day because I got super curious, and so I think I know how old you are, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. Keep it a mystery. Keep it a mystery.
But our entire life, Dallas has been an offensive team, right? There's just historically offensive teams. Dallas is one of them. So I don't because this is the second time in a 6-7 year span that wide receiver has been an egregious need that they just outright ignored for a year and then decided to address.
Yeah, you're talking about 2018 where we're the wide receiver by committee. Yeah, that was. I mean, we literally had.
But they brought in Cooper.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, you're right. You ain't lying.
And so I'm address it. Now they kind of did, right, when CD fell to them. But then they're like, oh, we got CD and we're good. And then they decide to get mad at Amari Cooper and get rid of him. I'm like, okay, so getting back on to the point, because I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit.
Are you good?
If they can bring in Thielen and OBJ, which I don't know what Thielen's market would be, but clearly it's not the $13 million that he was scheduled to get paid this last year or this next year.
Yeah, he ain't getting that.
If they can do that and bring in maybe not OBJ, but the DJ Chark or somebody, I forget the markets right off the top of my head at the moment, but bring in multiple dudes and then possibly draft one, then cool. But again, that just kind of goes off of if I was the Joneses, I would just let Dan Quinn rock and then throw the more quality bodies at the offensive side of the ball, which in this case would be the wide receiver room, would be the O-line, things of that nature.
Yeah, I'm with you in the sense of, like, if I bring in Adam, I would still bring in someone else. But when I say bring in, I mean more so the draft. I don't know that I try to get Adam and Odell. I think that might be overboard, and it could have a bad effect because somebody's not going to play. But one or the other, right? And then still address the position in the draft, and let these young guys learn from one of these veterans, and then obviously Lamb is going to be your horse. But yeah, I think there is legitimate options to fix the wide receiver position. It's just a matter of they're willing to spend a little bit of money, right? And if they're willing to spend a little bit of draft capital, and if it's one position that they've done that, it is receivers. So don't shrimp up now. Don't get scared now, right? Go get you one of them dudes. You've been doing it since what? Roy Williams and Joey Galloway, Amari Cooper. Don't get scared now, man. Don't get scared now.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I was like, the highest that your team's ever been. I'll say this and I'll let you go. The highest that your team has ever been. It's been this little run since Mike McCarthy got here, right? I can argue that this best the team's been.
That's fair.
On a consistent year in, year out basis.
Back-to-back playoffs.
And then that's little run.
That's
but
fair.
if you were trying to string together defenses with bubble gum and popsicle sticks back when Tony Romo was doing his thing, but you have a quality defense now. Why is it now all of a sudden, recent memory, when you actually have a quality team and quality infrastructure, quality defense, that you're like, oh, well, yeah, the money, guys, it's the money. All of a sudden, salary cap matters all of a sudden. And like, I get Stevens came in and he kind of saved the Cowboys in that early 2010s run, but like, again, we've been on 2 for a decade. Can we get to 7?
Yeah. I kind of like what you're saying about the Dan Quinn, man. I'm going to talk about that for a quick second.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you go, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, DJ. Enjoy your weekend. It's something to letting Dan Quinn get a guy or two. I don't want to say empty, blank check type situation, because I don't know how many blank check defenders there are out there. And somebody could argue, well, you didn't have a whole bunch of them guys last year and you still did. But again, I'm trying to get better. I said the same thing last year, and that's why I was like, look, I mean, I still think it's going to be a double-digit win team. I still think they'll have a chance, but is it a Super Bowl? I don't know about all that. I want to get better. So, yeah, the defense was good. Well, don't say good. They were top-notch the first, half of the season. They leveled off to being good. They had their moments where they were not. I say, Dan, what you need? What you need? Here's a check. Go get me one. Or 2. No matter. Give me 1 or 2. I don't care. And let Dan build an LOB or whatever you want to call it. Let Dan build one of them types. Because if you're not going to spend a bunch of money or spend a bunch of capital or go get you I don't want to say Odell, but the D Hops or whoever of the world, then damn it, make that defense top tier. Make that defense feared. Because I don't think I use this term, y'all use a lot, that far off offensively. I think you got quality pieces there. I think you got your wide receiver 1, you got your QB 1, you got a good stable of running backs right now. You got pieces up front to build with. Biotish is solid. Going into his 4th year, Pro Bowl Tyler, right? Zach Martin, Terrence Steele, Tyler Smith. You got a foundation, right? Add a receiver or 2 to that, and you have one of them ones on defense with this West Coast offense. I think we on to something now. Now, if you're going to tell Dan, well, look, brother, it's either offense or defense, man. I can't do both. Now, that makes the discussion a bit tougher. Killing me, Smalls. Macho Man Danny Savage, what's up?
Hey, yo. Good morning, Sky. Let me tell you something. I thought I was negative. I heard Toxic Tom, and I was like, wow. I'm like, I don't sound that negative anymore.
Nah, hey, look, off-season Toxic Tom's a different animal, Daddy. He got you. He got you in the off-season.
No, but he was spitting out truths. Listen.
Oh, it was real.
NFL revenue every year is $9 billion. At the end of the year, each team, and Jerry's there with his hand out, gets a check for $250 million. That doesn't even add up with all the revenue he gets at Jerry's World, with all the idiots buying their $20 drinks and everything like that, and $30 for parking. He doesn't care about winning. Draft day, throw him in the room with some crayons. That's it. Just get away. Earlier, landlord called up. I usually agree with his theory about you got 10 picks, 9 picks.
The conference has been locked.
5 guys you want. Just my opinion, this year's draft, after the maybe 15 picks, it's like falling off a cliff. So day 3, I can get a Deuce Vaughn. Day 3, I can get a starting running back. Day 3, I can get a starting linebacker. Day 3, I can get a starting tight end this year in this year's draft. There's like 15 tight ends. There's like 10, 12 good running backs. You're gonna be able to get value in rounds. We only have 1/4. I still want the kid from USC, Voorhees. You know what I'm trying to say?
But
we have a couple of 5s.
But what we're saying, Danny, is we could package some of those to get in the 4th then, or package some of those to get you a proven guy ready. But if we're just talking about draft, like you got what, 3/5, a 6, and a 7. Like you can package some of those to move up if you to get one of your Voorhees, right, or whomever it is in the 4th round. It's kind of what we're saying. We don't think you need nine picks to make the team.
Yes, I agree with you, but like we've had this conversation before. How many times like we get fleeced on a trade?
Well,
you know what I'm trying to say? Like we rarely win. We very rarely win on trades. So like, we're going to give up 9 picks to move up to get a tight end? It's just frustrating. I'm going to close it off as, listen, we got $29 million tied up at running back.
Currently. It's crazy.
I'll take Bijan if that takes, if I get a 2-for-1 deal, pushing Jerry and Zeke off a cliff. I'll take Bijan just to get Zeke off the team at this point. Because I'm sorry.
Why Jerry?
He wasted it down. He's 27. That's old for a running back, man.
Oh yeah, well we ain't gotta revisit the Zeke thing. I think most of us are in agreement here. It's time to move forward.
I'm just one more. I'm out. They're talking about extending Tyron. Brian Broaddus was talking about They're talking about doing like a Tank Lawrence, like another 3-year deal.
Well, that's no. I think it's different. I don't think it's an extension. Extension, you remain with the contract you have. It's like a restructure. The Tank deal was essentially rip up a contract. It's a brand new contract. I think that's what they're trying to do with Tyron Smith. I don't think they want to keep this contract and extend it. I think they want to rip it up and protect themselves a little bit more. I hope.
But if he was a betting man, went to Vegas, what's the over/under on games?
Bro,
Tyron's going to play this year.
6.5, and I wouldn't even. I would not do it. I wouldn't do it. But it sounds like they pretty much 10 toes down on this one.
I agree.
6.5 for Tyron Smith.
And this is
2-11-4.
I apologize. One last thing. Is the air different in Texas versus Florida? Connor Williams couldn't snap in Texas, but he goes to Florida, and he's a top 10 center for the Miami Dolphins.
So
he gave up 3 sacks.
Oh, he gave up 3 sacks?
About it, an organization.
Wait. He gave up 3 sacks?
He gave up 3 sacks, Connor Williams, at center.
That's not a top-tier center then. Centers don't give up sacks that much. Tyler Biadasz hasn't given up a sack since 2020.
I'm just saying he started 17 games at center.
Yeah, but that shocked me. I mean, I didn't realize he did that. So yeah, he can snap the ball and he can be competent. But here's why probably. Remember when we tried Connor Williams at center? It was like July something, August something. It was like, you know what? About 3 weeks out of the season, let's go ahead and try Connor Williams at center. They waited too long. I feel like when Miami signed him, it was, hey, we want to sign you to be a center. And he was like, all right, I'm down for it. So boom, March, April, he's working to be a center. So by the time you get to September, he's competent. I think that's probably why. I don't think Connor Williams had the inability to be a center. It just, hey, I'm sliding from guard to center, and I got to do this right now, and I got to impress right now, and I think it kind of just caught up to him.
I can see that. All right, listen, have a great weekend, you and your family.
Good
and I just want to congratulate you on. I'm a little late, but I want to congratulate you on your move.
Thank you,
all right,
man.
I'm out of here.
Thanks, brother.
Talk to you
Appreciate it,
later.
Danny. It's a good call. A lot of good calls today. Pay some houses for me, man. Yeah, Chris said they tried it in the contract year. He pretended to be in. So, Chris, he was out there like, I'm just really beaming this thing. He pretended to be incompetent. I didn't know he gave up 3 sacks, though. Because I did hear a lot of, oh, man, look, Connor Williams is, look at him being in the center over there in Miami. A lot of sacks for the center, believe it or not. We got 2 more. 559 and then Magic City in the building. What's up, 559?
How's it going, man?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, I think I have a feeling they're going to bring back Dalton Schultz, man. I think those 3 trios of Peyton, Hendershot, Jake Ferguson, and Dalton, they just gel together, man. And I think Jerry's just going to bring him back, but I don't think for what he wants. I think they're going to get some kind of discount on him. What are your thoughts?
Bring who back?
Dalton Schultz.
Woo-wee. I think Dalton Schultz according to reports, he just turned down a Cowboys offer, though.
Oh, he did? Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of our show. Nah. I mean, apparently they wanted to try, right? They offered a contract, but maybe they do this to everybody. Hey, here's what we want you back here. And they offer them a low ball contract knowing they're going to say no. I just think it'd be funny as hell if that person says yes and they were like, oh, shoot, we didn't really want you. I think that would be, I wouldn't do it, man. This draft class is too deep. I think Ferguson, y'all know how I feel. I think Jake Ferguson can step in and be your tight end 1. I think a Hendershot and maybe a drafted mid-round guy could complete the tight end room for the next 3 years. And then if they do want to take a Kincaid or a Darnell Washington, that replaces Schultz, and now you got that guy plus Ferguson. It's just way too many other better options, in my opinion, than signing Dalton Schultz back to this team.
Yeah. I got another thing. What do you think they're going to do at backup QB? Do you think they're going to draft
absolutely
someone, or do you think they're going to keep Cooper?
I think they'll draft one. Kellen Moore's not here anymore. I don't think I'm not saying Cooper can't, because they're not going to change the entire offense, right? They're going to change about 35% of the offense. But I think he might mess around and follow Kellen Moore, because why wouldn't you? Unless somebody pays him money to be a starter. I don't think the Cowboys want to invest big money into a backup quarterback spot, and they may get into a slight bidding war if teams are not really paying attention. Like, oh, look, Cooper Rush went 4-1. Forget the tape. He went 4-1. I would have signed him to $15 million per year. Be my guest. Go ahead. We'll take a comp pick. But I think he'll go follow Kellen Moore probably. I think the best thing to do is to draft a quarterback sometime maybe late day 2, early day 3, and see if you can develop him into a quality backup that if Dak Prescott doesn't work out, now he can be your starter at some point, or you flip him. I'd rather draft a quarterback.
Right. Who do you like in the draft at QB, man?
You mean the top guys, or are you talking about like the Hendon Hookers of the worlds? Because I gotta do more homework.
Round.
Yeah, I gotta do more homework on late round guys. I'm not invested in that position to give you a quality and real answer. I don't want to fake the funk. The only guy that I'm really looking at right now is because we visited with him was Hendon Hooker, and I wouldn't mind that in the 4th round. But I'm pretty sure there's some guys that can give me some names here for me to go look at and check out. You got some names?
I kind of like that because I'm from the 559. Been looking at that Fresno State quarterback. Forget his name. I think his name's Jake. Like Henner, I believe.
I'll check it out. Fresno State. I'm getting some names right now in the chat. Jaron Hall is a guy. Let's see here. Give me some more names, Cowboys Nation. Give me some more names. There was a UCLA kid I thought somebody said. Obviously, we know about Hooker. Damn, where'd it go? I thought I saw somebody bring up a kid from UCLA. Maybe not. Jake Heiner. Is that the guy you talking about?
Yeah, Fresno State guy. I mean, he's kind of undersized, but he plays
Tomlinson from UCLA.
pretty good, man.
Yeah, probably will be the last position I look at, honestly, because we're talking about backup. I'm probably talking about day 3, but I'll take a look for sure.
Right.
Stetson
Thanks,
Bennett.
man.
What about Stetson Bennett? He older than me. All right, dog. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I'll take a look at some of these dudes. Y'all got some more names for me? We never mentioned a veteran quarterback behind Dak. I mean, technically, he wasn't playing a lot though, so I ain't gonna call him that. Yeah, they tried that early on with, and technically it was behind Tony, but we did that with Tony. Remember, we had all veteran backup quarterbacks all the damn time. I don't mind a veteran backup either, but I would like that backup. I say this every year to kind of resemble the skill set of my current quarterback, so I'm not having to change my offense. There's a Dorian Green. Wasn't Dorian Green a receiver? I'm writing these down for real. Pendanucci. Anybody else? Oh, well, yeah, Max is another guy. Max Dugan. Yeah, I'm familiar with him as well. Moses says this guy misconstrued with what Broadus said. What specifically did somebody misconstrue what Broadus said? Stetson Bennett's another one. That's a popular name. Yeah, I'll take a look at some of these at some point for sure. I got y'all. All right, Magic City, send us out, man. What's good, Magic City, Mar? What's up with you?
Oh, it's good. You know, me and you, what we talk about, all them guys keep talking about receivers. We're going to drop the receiver. Like me and you said, we're not overpaying for no receiver. So all you Cowboy fans, get that out of your mind. I am, know what he's doing.
So,
way better than you guys.
But Marv, you say that they're just not going to do it, right? But they tried. They tried to trade for Brandon Cooks. They tried to sign Odell Beckham. They're still interested. So I don't think you can just completely rule it out. I think they are interested in trying to sign or trade for one of these receivers, though. I think you got to open your mind up to that.
Yeah. You know, like me and you say, either one, but they're not going to overpay now.
That's
they're
fair.
Not paying
That's
12,
fair.
13 million.
That's fair. I don't think they're going to overpay for no.
No. But you got your boy Will. Will, like, man, I know what I'm doing. That's the GM. Y'all just don't know. Y'all think Jerry's the GM. It's Will and Steven. Just like you said. That's his boy. That's who's saving the Cowboys. Will I am.
Oh, yeah. Will
is saving. He's saving the Cowboys. But they dropped better than everybody. Because, you know, me and you, I heard everybody last year when they drafted Tyler Smith, you should have heard them saying, oh, God damn it. Oh, wow. They was crying like babies.
That's every year, Marv. That's what I said. No matter who the Cowboys draft in the first round, Cowboys Nation collectively is not going to be all in one. Right? You're not going to be happy about it, but it is what it is.
They want the pretty pick. They want the receiver. But another quarterback is Aiden O'Connell from Purdue.
Aiden O'Connell, I'll put that on the list.
Yeah, watch him. He's like, I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", but he's like a gunslinger. You know. And then with this new offense, this offense gonna make the quarterbacks like Purdy. Was it quarterback from San Francisco?
Purdy?
Yeah. This offense gonna make the quarterbacks look beautiful, especially Will. Will Good had beat out Kellen Moore. I mean, what's that?
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush. Yeah, beat up Cooper Rush. And Cooper Rush, when he got hurt with his groin, that's how Cooper Rush got back in the mold.
You know though,
So
it sounds crazy, but that might have been the best. I like Will, live arm, lively player, swashbuckling type of quarterback. But Cooper just needed to just get the ball. He's throwing it 20, 22 times. Just get the ball to the guy. Don't throw the interception and keep. When your defense was playing the way it was playing, we didn't need him to do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. That's why I said, look, I ain't got no problem with how Cooper Rush played, but let's not get it twisted. This ain't a guy I'm keeping for the team for 16 games. He's a quality backup for the Cowboys needed last year.
Yeah, he did good. But since they changed the offense, play action, running, a lot of screens to the halfbacks that we never had. Scheming the halfbacks the right way instead of running straight up the middle just to do it, to piss the fans off. I was like, what's this fool? I knew his plays. I was like, Kellen Moore for the run right up the middle, 1 yard. Now I can pass. Let me pass now. He didn't scheme them, you know what I'm saying? I said, this guy's an idiot. So San Diego gonna get what they want. That quarterback might have a lot of, because he loved throwing a lot anyway. The quarterback from Oregon, San Diego. So with Kellen Moore,
he's
gonna throw it. You know, that's perfect for Kellen Moore. You know what I'm saying? But like me and you said, we want that defense in the middle. When we make that defense a real number one defense, I'm talking about a top 5. Can't run on us and fast. Can't pass on us. That's the number one.
Hey fam, I'm with Marv. I'm starting to. I ain't gonna say I'm starting to lean, but I'm not opposed to. Hey, let's just gang up on this defense. Let's gang up. Let's go get these dudes because now I got a offensive scheme that is tried and true and proven in the National Football League that I think can elevate certain players. So what I kept asking people all the time about Kellen's, I'm like, okay, name me the team that is utilizing Kellen Moore's scheme and winning Super Bowls.
Nobody.
Name it.
They knew I played.
You know what I'm saying?
Never knew I played.
Right. So, but you go look at the tree of guys that are coming from the Andy Reeds, and when I say the Andy Reeds, the McVays, the Shanahans, but if you go look at the tippy top of that, there's a overwhelmingly consistent thing, and there's some form of West Coast, or there's some form of a style that they run. Find me Scott Linehan's offense that's winning Super Bowls. Find me Kellen Moore's offense that's winning Super Bowls.
I've been waiting for this. Me and you said it last year. When I first seen Dak, I went to the preseason game in L.A., and I was in the stands, and the Rams said, like, man, y'all got a quarterback. I mean, this guy was on point. Now, and that was with, Clapboy. Clapboy ran the ball, and it made Dak look good. Now, the Green Bay offense, a little spice with the Dallas offense, man, that's a dangerous offense. Because now you're about to see your halfback. There's another halfback out there. Man, so many halfbacks.
It's a lot of them, bro.
Wait, did you see Tank Bigsby for Army?
Tank Bigsby, Spears, Gibbs, Brown. I mean, so many. What's the A&M kid? I said his name wrong. A-Chain. Was it Ole Miss? Is another kid Evans? Man, there's so many running backs in this draft.
Kendrick Taylor.
The Pitt kid, the Minnesota kid. There's so man. Oh yeah, we actually visited with the TCU kid.
The Syracuse halfback. Oh my God.
Yeah, Chase Brown, my guy, man. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, what y'all call him? Hey, Steven Jones ain't giving up his picks, man.
Nah, he not. He gonna pick all 9 of them, Marv. Look, he gonna pick all 9, and that 9th pick, Marv gonna be like, "Hey, man, I'm telling you, that's a future Hall of Famer right there, dog."
I know.
We love you, Marv. Hey, appreciate the call, man.
Hey. All right, fam. Have a blessed day.
Enjoy your weekend, Magic City, Marv.
You too.
You working this weekend at the club?
Yeah, I gotta work on Saturday.
All right.
Saturday night. I don't work Friday night.
All right. Well,
that's the Sabbath.
Okay. Be safe out there.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Shalom, my brother. Be safe.
Salute. He said shalom. I say salute. Man, Marv had us rolling last year. Marv said all 6 of them getting 1,000 yards. What you talking about? I said, Marv. Oh, yeah. We didn't even talk about Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet. Man, that's a lot of running backs, dog. Like, how can anybody justify? I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole. I'm not doing it. All right, here we go. Super chats, and we gonna enjoy this weekend. You right, Danny. He was dropping names today. He ain't using no. You know what's crazy? College players, he dropped names. His own NFL team, he dropped jersey numbers. There's more college players in NFL teams, but he know their names. That's interesting, Marv. You only got to know about 10 dudes when you be describing them here, but you know about 70. Something else. Here we go. What's the day? The 10th. All right, start at the top.
Super chat.
Sully dropped one. Appreciate you, Sully. He said, ain't it crazy that we let an MFer go for 10 years being mid, and here Big Mike is improving year to year and took us further, and he'd been on a hot seat for 2 years. When Mike did what he did this offseason or this postseason, right? I thought we was done having this conversation that Mike McCarthy's on the hot seat. And then immediately we had a heated debate for that week about it. So yeah, I'm with you. I don't quite understand it. We also have to grade on a curve, right? He has to deal with what he has to deal with here in Dallas with Jerry Jones, the management, et cetera, et cetera. It ain't the same elsewhere.
Super chat.
B Bird, appreciate you. Drop 2. Says Sky, I just started listening. What is Foots on? Oh, I love Foots, man, because I know he gonna come in here and be like, man, look, before we talk all this draft shit, y'all ain't gonna keep coming at my top. Yeah, this is what Foots was on. But see, you also gotta understand, Foots loves draft. He absolutely, I feel like he would 100% roll with this draft and development for 27 more years if it meant being good enough and continuing to see these rookies and these drafted guys hit, right? You know, turn into stars or role players. Foots would love that. But he's draft guy, man. He's draft guy.
Super chat.
Dimes drop one. Appreciate you. He said, is wide receiver in the first 2 rounds still an option if we get an aged 30-plus vet? Behind them would be Tolbert, Semi if MG's not here. So, all right, let's play that game, Dime. So you're saying, say the Cowboys trade for, because there's just 2 different things here. If they trade for D-Hop and they include Michael Gallup, is a wide receiver still on an option? Probably not. I think they would say Tolbert. It will be that guy. They try to give Semi a little bit more, and then they maybe take one round 3, 4, or whatever, and compete maybe. But if they sign an age 30 vet like Odell Beckham, then Michael Gallup is still here. So, but that's an interesting thought, right? Like if they were to get a D-Hop, do you eliminate wide receiver on day 1 and 2? Well, day 1 for sure. Day 2. Matt Jones, you wanted me to read.
Super chat.
Appreciate you. He dropped 2 and said, read Adam Schefter's tweet. I went to go look at Adam Schefter's tweet. Am I missing something? Did Adam Schefter drop something that was... He was like, oh my God, read Adam Schefter's tweet. And I'm not really seeing anything. Oh my God, worthy. So you're going to have to just tell me what I missed about Adam Schefter. Or as my guy Marv would say, Adam Scheffner. I ain't seeing nothing, Matt. Glenn dropped one.
Super chat.
Thank you, Glenn. He says, Schultz is a mirage, just an outlet guy. Oh, I agree. Who can't block. A little bit better blocker than we give him credit for. No defensive coordinator is trying to figure out how to stop him. It's a hard pass for me. I agree. I don't think coordinators are like, yo, we got to stop Dalton Schultz. It's, hey, on this down in this situation, he looking for Dalton Schultz, so just bite, boom. You know, I mean, that's not too far off, right? This is a guy that they're going to give a high volume of targets to, so let's pay attention to it. But you're not shooking your boots over Dalton Schultz, not at all. Tyler Hewitt.
Super chat.
Drop one said, Foots just black Steven Jones for that tweet. Come on, man. Oh, my God, a black Steven Jones. And that's it. That's it for the day. Did anybody get this Adam Scheffner tweet that I missed? Frankly said, I love draft too. Chris set it off. Chris' son is top 100 high school player in the whole mother country. We both still would trade the whole team for a ring. Yeah, man. Your buck, me and Chris talk about it. Chris's buck is one of the top guys in the country, and so is my cousin. Shout out to Rail Caesar. Lil Rail. Killing it over there with Still High. So we be kind of talking back and forth. I actually think Chris told me they met up once down in Virginia. Mel said, will we have to go through the same thing with Odell Beckham that we went through with Michael Gallup? I don't think so, because think about it. Michael Gallup returned from surgery 9 months later in February, nine months later, and played. Odell Beckham, 13 months removed today from his ACL surgery. It'll be like 20 by the time we get to September, right? By the time we get to actual NFL football. So I don't think that we'll have that year of having to get right. I feel like he already had that year, damn near 2 years when you look at month wise. So I mean, yes, he'll have to recoup, get in football shape and things like that. But one, he was already a better player than Michael Gallup, right? And two, he's had a longer recovering process. Foots to Jones. Hey, if y'all want to laugh, go look at the quote tweets. Oh, they cooking my guy, man. So Schefter retweeted the Slay news. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Okay. I mean, again, I just don't think the Cowboys are going to trade. Put it this way. Maybe this conversation we'll have next week. Let me see. I want to save this for content. Never mind. I'm saving it for content. Let me write it down. I gotta write stuff down. That's how you know I'm getting old. Yeah, I'm saving this for content. We'll talk about it next week, y'all. All right, that's it for the day, man. Good stuff. Really good, feel good Friday. I'm gonna have to start bringing back these. There we go. I had to start bringing back these mailbag segments, and Fridays is for the fans, man. It's for y'all. Call in, we talk, we can rap. Mel, don't do that, Mel. All right, let's get a couple more before I get out of here. I'd rather a guy take too long and be good than someone like Gallup rushing back and potentially making it all worse. Fair. Adam Thielen for a bag of chips. Yep. I'll be down. Again, I'm just trying to throw quality bodies, right? Quality bodies at that position. So I'm not going into week one and we're talking about Dennis Houston, Simi Fehoko, Noah Brown, opposite of CeeDee Lamb. I ain't trying to do that again. Dimes dropped one right quick on the way out. He said,
Super chat.
If Slay goes, then Philly goes cornerback instead of Bijan. Oh, yeah, they might have to. Because think about it. Slay's not there. I don't know what's going on with Maddox, but he's a slot. And then, I mean, are they going to sign back the cat from the Giants? Don't think so. So yeah, they probably do go. You're right. They probably do go corner. Yo, you know what's crazy, CJ? Michelle thinks I have good handwriting. Now, when I take my time, obviously, I have better handwriting. But if y'all were to look at... Man, I write down a ton of just stuff up in here. If y'all were to look at these notes that I write down in here, it is... Well, that's my son. Don't. That's my son, too. I promise y'all I'm not drawing. That's my son, too. Damn, he got a lot. I didn't realize he was in my book like that. Yeah, but see, that's, I do write like a doctor. Oh, but you got nice handwriting. No, I don't. I admit I do not have nice handwriting. But when I need to, everybody can read it. I'm gonna have to call MJ. Like, hey, dog, look, you can't be coming in my office and just coloring and drawing in my book, man. God damn. All right, look, if y'all enjoyed the show today, hit that like button. Please share this with all your friends, family, and foes. Be back next week. No Mauricio this week. No Vosh Lombardi live. Or this week, today. No Vosh Lombardi live. We'll all be back Monday. Well, Mo will be back on Sunday. But y'all can still check out Mo and his fantastic writing and our other writers on A to Z Sports Dallas.com. The rough draft. It's the arthritis. I'm out. I can't deal with y'all. It's the arthritis. That's hilarious. What y'all doing this weekend, man? I need don't kill me, MCU fans. I still have not seen Ant-Man, Quantumania. So maybe I'll go do that. Hey Michelle, maybe that's what we should do tomorrow. Tomorrow's our date day. We hardly do nights now, getting up in age. I like to do we like to day drink and brunch. You can come back home, chill, kick back, watch BMF, watch Your Honor, watch whatever the show is that you're watching and chill. I'm not trying to be out here in Deep Ellum at 12 o'clock. Boss man taught me that. With that said, damn, that was deep. That was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. My apologies, man. But it ain't just boss man. Deep Ellum is, man, listen, I be reading. I be hearing about down there. I be wilding, man. I ain't going to the nines anymore. We out of here. Love y'all. Peace.